The flake of snow does not melt. It rests on the old woman's arm, a white star against the dark, leathery skin, and a second one joins it. She does not brush them away. She watches them, her deep-set eyes unblinking beneath a heavy, dowdy brow. Her breath, a ghost in the air, is the only thing that moves. This is wrong. The sun is still a hazy coin in the sky. The scent of late autumn berries still hangs in the forest. Yet the cold bites with the teeth of deep winter. This is a betrayal. The rhythm of the world, the one she has known for 50 winters, is broken. She looks up, past the rock overhang of their camp, and sees the sky is no longer blue, but a bruised, uniform grey, pregnant with a silence that is more threatening than any roar. Around her, the clan of 23 goes about the routines that define prehistoric life. A young male, his shoulders already broad and powerful, strikes a river-worn core of flint with a practiced, economical motion. He is employing the Lavaluvis technique, a careful preparation of the stone to yield a perfect, sharp-edged tool with a single, decisive blow. The sound, thwack-clink, is the heartbeat of their existence, the sound of forethought and control. It is the sound of ancient tools being born from inner trot. But today, the sound is swallowed by the thickening air. Another hunter returns from the tree line, his spear held low, his hands empty. His expression is one she has seen before, the grim understanding that the world is changing faster than they can follow. The great deer are gone. The herds of bison have vanished, driven south or into deeper valleys by a premonition of the cold. The landscape, once so larder, is becoming a barren trap. The absence of East Pleistocene megafauna is a quiet alarm bell. The old woman rises. Her joints ache, the familiar fire. But her movement is deliberate. She walks to the clan's leader, the strong hunter with the old scar across his cheek. She does not speak in words as we would know them, but her meaning is absolute. She holds out her arm, showing him the growing collection of white flakes. She points to the sky, then to the high pass that leads south, her hand making a low, urgent gesture. Go now. It is a terrible choice, to abandon a camp rich with firewood, with a defensible cliff at its back, is to invite disaster. But to stay is to be buried. He looks at her, then at the sky, his own vast experience confirming her silent warning. He sees the fear in the eyes of the mothers clutching their young, a primal terror of the cold that seeps deep in the bone. This is a moment that will define their hominid history. A choice born not of aggression or hunger, but of collective foresight. The clan moves. There is no debate, only a shared, unspoken understanding. Bundles of dried meat, heavy furs, unprecious, half-worked flints are gathered. A child, no more than 4 winters old, reaches out to touch the falling snow. A look of wonder on his face before his mother pulls him back, wrapping him tight in a hide. The wonder is a luxury they cannot afford. The journey begins, a small, fragile line of early humans moving against a vast, indifferent canvas of white. Each step a gamble against the coming storm. The cave is a got of stone, a temporary reprieve that has become a prison. For days, the blizzard has been a living thing, a white beast clawing at the entrance, its howl a constant, maddening scream that works its way into the marrow. The fire, their tether to life, is a starved thing now, fed slivers of precious wood. It throws long, dancing shadows that make the walls seem to breathe. The cold is an occupying force, seeping through their fur wraps, stealing the warmth from their sleep. But the cold is a slow killer. Hunger is faster. The last of the dried meat is gone, boiled down with melted snow into a thin, tasteless broth that does little to quiet the ache in their bellies. The whimpers of the children are the most unbearable sound, a constant reminder of their failing. This is the Nad Centimet Rose of prehistory, a time when a single turn of the weather could erase a generation. They are not alone in the dark. Deeper in the labyrinth of tunnels, another clan holds court. The whooping calls and the high, manic laughter of cave hyenas echo from the depths, a sound that promises dismemberment. Twice, a bold scavenger has crept close to the firelight, its powerful shoulders low, its eyes twin embers in the gloom. The young hunter drove it back with a flaming brand, its retreat filled with snarling threats. The clan huddles together, a knot of warmth and fear, their backs to the rock, their faces to the entrance. Caught between the storm without and the scavengers within, their collective existence is a testament to the raw essentials of survival skills, a constant, minute-by-minute negotiation with death. The air is thick with the smell of wood smoke, and washed bodies, and the lingering scent of old fear. The scarred leader makes the choice. There is no other. He gathers the two strongest hunters, including the young flint napper whose hands are as steady as his gaze. They check their spears, running callous thumbs over the deadly sharp flint points. The weapons, products of the Moose-Tarian industry, are brutally efficient, designed for close, desperate work. There are no words. There is only the tightening of a grip on a wooden shaft. A shared look of grim understanding. To go out into that white fury is madness. To stay is to become ghosts. The old woman watches them go, her face a mask of ancient stone. She places a small, smooth river pebble into the hand of the leader's mate, a silent transfer of solidarity. They step out into a world without dimension. The wind drips the breath from their lungs and drops as ice crystals into their eyes like tiny knives. They move as ancient humans have for millennia, hunched against the gale, reading the almost invisible signs of the land. After an hour that feels like a lifetime, they find him, a lone woody rhino, ancient and scarred, separated from its kind, its massive head lowered as it clears snow with its horn, searching for buried lichen. It is a walking fortress of muscle and rage. The hunt is a brutal, clumsy dance in the deep snow. The young hunter drives his spear into the beast's flank, a shallow wound that earns a deafening roar of fury. The rhino charges, a force of nature, and the scarred leader shoves the other hunter aside, taking the full impact himself. The horn catches him in the thigh, shattering bone and flesh. He goes down with a cry that is half pain, half defiance. He knows he is dead, pushing himself up on one elbow, who's heavy. Probed HI siege or set in a final, terrible resolve. He bellows a challenge. He becomes the only threat, the only focus for the rhino's rage, giving the others the precious seconds they need to strike again and again, until the great beast finally falls. They return not as heroes, but as ghosts, hauling life-giving meat, their hearts heavy with the price. The clan is saved, but its soul is wounded. The cost of survival is etched forever into the memory of their hominid history. The first sound of the thaw is water, a single drop, echoing in the silent cave, then another. It is the metronome of a changing world. The tyrannical howl of the wind has been replaced by a whisper, and a weak, watery sunlight now spills across the cave floor, revealing a world scoured and remade. The survivors, gaunt and hollow-eyed, emerge from the stone womb into the blinding white. The great beast's meat has sustained them, but the cost hangs in the air, a silence where a familiar voice should be. They carry their fallen leader to a shallow alcove, his body wrapped in the finest hides. The old woman, her movements are slow, deliberate ritual, grinds a lump of red ochre between two stones, mixing the powder with melted snow to form a thick, blood-dark paste. She and the leader's mate methodically cover his skin with the sacred color, a final act of belonging, a testament that his life was more than mere existence. This gesture, found in the deepest strata of archaeology, is a profound flicker of humanity, a clear signal of abstract thought amid the brutal calculus of prehistoric life. The young flint napper is their leader now. Though he wears no mantle, his authority comes from his calm, his foresight. He leads the first scouting parties into the skeletal forest, and what they find is a world emptied. The game is gone, fled or fallen to the punishing winter. They walk for days, finding only gnawed bones in the tracks of starving predators. Then, they find the other tracks. They are not theirs. They are longer, narrower, the stride more fluid, Less powerful, near a frozen stream, they discover a spear, abandoned or lost. The point is not flint, but carved bone, hard and wickedly sharp. It is the work of a different mind, a different tradition. A new unease settles over the clan, a fear more primal than hunger. This land, which they have understood as their own for generations, now holds a new secret. When dawn, from the safety of a high ridge, they see them, gray figures, moving across the valley floor. They are impossibly tall and slender. Their gracile forms a stark contrast to the clan's own robust, cold-adapted bodies. Their movements are efficient, their heads held high and balanced, a posture dictated by the very structure of their anatomy, the way their spine meets the skull from directly beneath the foramen magnum. They are a different kind of human, a newer model. They carry long, elegant throwing spears and move with a confidence that speaks of a deeper mastery over this depleted world. The young leader watches, his hand tightening on his own heavy spear. He understands, this is not a force to be fought. It is a tide. To confront them with his weakened, grieving clan would be an act of suicide. It is the ultimate intelligence point, recognizing not just a threat, but a superior adaptation. The resolution is not found in conflict, but in a quiet, heartbreaking retreat. They gather their few possessions, the memory of their lost leader, and the heavy knowledge of their new reality. They turn their backs on their ancestral lands and head north, towards the retreating glaciers, seeking a valley, a niche, a moment of time where they can still be themselves, in a world that is rapidly ceasing to be theirs. What we have witnessed is not an ending, but a turning, a single, poignant moment in the vast, overlapping story of human evolution. For 10,000 years, this scene would be repeated across the continent, in sun-dappled forests, on wind-swept plains, and in the shadowed mouths of caves. It was a long, slow extinction, a quiet fading in the face of a new human dawn. The survival of this small clan, purchased with foresight and sacrifice, was a victory measured in seasons, not millennia. Their choice to retreat rather than fight was the most profound intelligence they possess, a recognition that the world had changed irrevocably. Their story, and the stories of thousands of clans like them, from the forgotten chapters of hominid history. We, Homo sapiens, are the ones who remained. We carry within our own genetic code the faint, ghostly echoes of these encounters, the instincts that drove them to care for their wounded, to mourn their dead with ochre, to band together against the cold, are the very foundations upon which we built our world. They were not a failed experiment or a brutish dead end. They were another form of humanity. And in their silent passing, we must wonder what profound knowledge, what different way of seeing the world, was lost to the ice and the silence forever. I am the chronicler. We listen for the echoes in the stone, not to celebrate the victor, but to honor the struggle that resides in all human ancestors. That there were times when the greatest threat was not a changing world, but a changing mind.